For them to learn to be a part of this black art, they were to learn to write backwards with either hand, learn to walk backwards, let him constantly watch, if convenient, cinemagraph films. Now listen, and listen to phonograph records reversed, and let him so accustom himself that they appear natural and appreciable as a whole. Let him practice speaking backwards, for thus I am he. Let him say, Ima I. Let him learn to read backwards, and then at the end it says, and of his own ingenium let him devise other methods.
While visiting Egypt in 1904, Crowley's first wife, Rose, began going into spontaneous trances, muttering things like, "They are waiting for you," and "He who was waiting was Horus." Intrigued, Crowley and Rose went to visit the Cairo Museum. From a distance she spied a glass case and exclaimed, there he is." Upon inspection, the case did contain an image of Horus painted on a wooden stele, but what particularly stunned Crowley was its exhibit number, 666, his number, the number of the beast. Convinced now that something supernatural was happening, Crowley went back to his hotel and performed a ritual, summoning this higher power. Over 3 successive days, beginning on April 8th, the book was channeled through Crowley while in a trance, and the content of this revelation: "I am the snake that giveth knowledge," the Spirit said. "To worship me take wine and strange drugs, whereof I will tell my prophet." This snake spirit begins the revelation by telling man that he is a god, that reality is essentially an illusion, sin a myth, and that ethically there's no greater commandment than the law of Thelema, Greek for will, as famously stated in the 40th verse of chapter 1.
"Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law."
Solution number 9. Car c'est à partir du moment précis de la parution de cette chanson que les messages subliminaux furent intégrés dans la production des disques rock'n'roll. À l'endroit, vous entendrez la répétition sans fin de Number 9, Number 9, Number 9, Number 9. Number 9, 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 Number 9. Le message subliminal que vous entendrez en version renversée est le suivant. Turn me on, dead man. Turn me on, dead man. Turn me on, dead man. En traduction, cela signifie excite-moi sexuellement, homme mort. Et l'homme mort en question, c'est Jésus-Christ. Turn me on, dead man. 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 Et pour bien démontrer que telle était la pensée des Beatles, John Lennon se fera le porte-parole du groupe lors de la présentation publique du Devil's White Album. Le christianisme, dit-il, va disparaître. Il va régresser, se désagréger. Je n'ai rien à prouver là-dessus, j'ai raison. L'histoire démontrera que j'ai eu raison. Présentement, nous sommes plus populaires que Jésus-Christ. Je me demande bien ce qui disparaîtra en premier, le rock'n'roll ou le christianisme. En d'autres termes, il proclame que Jésus-Christ est mort et enterré, seul survit et triomphe de rock'n'roll.
Everything that I've ever done.
I even remember, growing up hearing Beatles songs, and all their songs are timeless.
They built the structure for rock and roll.
The Beatles actually were bringing everybody along with them on their voyage of their discovery.
Beatles went out and took the world by storm.
I grew up with them. They helped us grow up. They got me arrested 3 or 4 times.
I think they did a lot for society.
Those songs are in my memory banks I think they're actually my genetic material.
All-time favorite musical group?
Beatles.
Beatles.
back and listen to Sgt. Pepper's. They were brilliant.
Sgt. Pepper had changed the world.
You notice that, again, there's an audience that is there. Ringo Starr made a statement about it. He said that they are people that they highly admired and respected. And up in the upper left-hand corner, you notice there's a bald-headed man. That man just so happens to be a guy named Aleister Crowley.
The Beatles also placed a picture of occultist William Burroughs, who claimed to have become demon-possessed after killing his wife on the Sgt. Pepper's album. Also making the cast was the most popular starlet of the 1960s, Jane Mansfield. Mansfield was a high priestess in Anton LaVey's Church of Satan. Mansfield admitted to using her Satanism to both seduce and gain worldwide fame. The Beatles also placed a slew of Eastern gurus on the album. Incredibly, one of the people who was to be pictured on the album as part of the Beatles Club was none other than Adolf Hitler. Hitler was yanked presumably because he was considered too controversial to appear on the album. Hitler's picture can be seen on the sidelines just prior to the shooting of the album cover. It has been well documented that Nazism was rooted in the occultic teachings of Madame Blavatsky and others. Aleister Crowley claimed that Hitler was his disciple and was seeking to implement the teachings of the Book of the Law through his policies of the triumph of the will. And of course, as we have noted on the top left, you find the picture of none other than Aleister Crowley.